Today on the table, we have a Colt Model 1902 Military. So they first developed this pistol, or at least Colt and Browning started designing this obviously in 1902. This pistol was made from 1902 to 1928. They made about 18,000 or so of them. Now this one, if I'll show you here, you can see the serial number. This one was made in 1909, so it's actually one of the much earlier ones. You can see that here. It is all original. It has quite a bit of its bluing left on it, and it does have its original, plastic or slash Bakelite grips on it as well. It comes with an 8-round magazine, which I can show you here. There you go. You can see it has its original 8-round mag right there. And it still has its lanyard loop on it, as you can see here. So all the military models had these lanyard loops on them. It does have a slide stop, which is pretty cool. So you can see here, when we do a safety check, you can see there that it is not loaded. And then see how it actually has a slide stop. And you can get a pretty good look at the barrel too. It's kind of got a cool barrel on it, as you can see there. And you can just check out the overall condition of it as well. Now this is chambered in 38 ACP. So some just brief history about these, maybe not too brief, but so what happened is that Browning was working with Colt, and they had initially designed the Model 1900, so just the M1900, and that one they only made like 4,000 of, and those are very, very expensive to find. Those are like $18,000 to $25,000 pistols because there's so few, and they look exactly like this Model 1902. So, but anyways, they originally designed that, and then there's some changes that had to be made to it, because again, it was just the initial design of a magazine-fed automatic pistol. And it was really basically, I think, the first magazine-fed automatic pistol. So, and you guys can double check or correct me on that, but I'm quite certain that it is, because then, obviously all of these, like the 1902, which became the 1903, which then there was a 1905, which slowly then got itself up to the 1911. If you guys go through that history, and it is my dream to find a 1905. I do not have one of those yet. I've been looking for one, but I hope to get one here soon for the channel so everybody can check it out. But just some changes that they did on these. That so they had the Model 1900. It became this military model, which is the 1902, and there were some changes made on that from the 1900 to this 1902. What happened is the 1900, the reason why it didn't really do well at all is if they did a lot of drop tests for it, and it would fire pretty often when it was dropped. So what they did with this was they lengthened the firing pin, and that actually reduced the dropping, or at least the firing when you drop it, which was nice. And the Model 1900 did not have a slide stop, and this 1902 does. So that was, those are the two big major changes that they had. These Model 1902s never really took off either. I mean, they didn't make, like I said, for this one they made 18,000 of them. And then they made a sporting Model 2, which we'll go over in another video, which they only made 6,000 of, and they only made those for 5 years. But because this is a military model, it was never actually adopted or adapted by any military. The biggest order they ever had from these was there was a Mexican. Mexico ordered them, and they ordered a whopping 800 of them back in 1908. And then there's some other like smaller contracts where little other countries like that would have ordered a few, but they were just never adapted. And the reason was they're very heavy. They're okay balanced. The grips are, as you can see, the grip doesn't even fit inside, or it doesn't even cover the metal. And it is a big grip. Like, I have medium-sized hands, I guess you could say. But you can see here, like, I mean, I think it's comfortable. But people said it was too bulky, and it just wasn't a comfortable enough grip. And, and then with this military model, it does hold one more round than those old M1900s. So this one is an 8-round magazine. So this mag I showed you here, it's an 8-round mag. The old M1900s, those were 7-round mags, so they thought that with that other addition that could help it take off, but it just didn't. And it just has its standard, fixed open sights, as you can see here. Just plain old sights. The earlier ones, the ones from like 1902 to 1907, had a spur hammer on them, kind of like if you saw when I made that video with my pocket hammer. And then after that, they went more to this like target hammer looking hammer on this one and the later ones. And like I said, this is from 1909, so it is much earlier. I mean, it's only 7 years after they started making them. So that's, you know, just another cool thing for them. They came in, basically all of them were this royal blue finish with the black rips. There were some other options. I mean, they called it like a fire or nitrite blue finish, but you could get there's some case hardened stuff that they did. They had different grips. I think there was a nickel and a nickel and it's like more of like a stainless finish on some, but that was more for like presentation models. I think Teddy Roosevelt was given one when they were out. So they are super cool. It has a 6-inch barrel, so the barrel on this is 6 inches and the gun overall is 9 inches. I think they're super, super cool looking. I mean, look at this thing. It's just a really, really cool pistol. And, you know, I was happy to get it, and the prices on them have actually gone up a bit too since I had bought this one. So, but if you have one, or if I've never shot this one. Like I said, it takes 38 ACP. You got to get pretty low, you know, powder rounds for it because, you know, it is an older gun and you got to be pretty careful with it. I have some ammo for it, but I'm not sure if I ever will shoot stuff through it. It would be really fun to shoot, but I don't know if I want to take the risk on, you know, hurting it at all. But yeah, anyways, if you have any questions, you know, comment on the video. You saw I made a promotional video yesterday, so if you see that, you know, go through and watch the videos and make some comments, and let me know if you have any questions.